Hi, my name is Dhananjay. In this tutorial, we are going to understand how to create a class. So let me mention what we are going to understand in this tutorial. The first we are going to understand creating class. Then second we will understand defining methods. Third we are going to understand creating object. And fourth we are going to understand calling methods. So we are going to understand this four topic in this tutorial. So this tutorial is very important for you. So let me begin that. So here to create a class we have to give the class keyword, and here I want to take example of rectangle class, and this in rectangle class I am going to declare variables. These are known as data members. So I will take here a float length, then I will take a float width, float and height. So these are the variables. In this programming we say the data members. After this we are going to define a method. So this is called the creating a class. So how to create a class? Class keyword, then name of the class, and these are the data members. Now we are going to understand how to define this methods. So define method, we have to give method return type. Void means your method is not going to return anything, and then the method name. So here I am going to write set attribute. This is my method name, and this method we are going to pass some parameters. So we are going to take this three: length, width and height. So I will take here float, then L for length, float, then W for width, and float, then height. This is for height. So whatever the value we will pass through L, that will be stored to the length. For that, what have to do? To store this value to the length, we have to do like that. Length is equal to L. So value of L will be stored to the length, and similarly the value of this B will be stored to the value of W will store to the width. Then the value of height, I mean that will be come from the H, so that will store to the height. So we'll write here height is equal to H. So this set attribute is a method which is going to take length, width and height. Now I will define one more method that will calculate the area. So I will write here void. If your method is not returning anything, so we have to write void. If you want to return something, so we have to write return type like int, float, double, what you want to return. So here I don't want to return anything, so I have written the void. Now write the name of the function, that is area. This is my function which will calculate the area of this rectangle. So how to calculate? We know how to calculate. We know the formula length into breadth. So let me write here system dot out, and here I will write area of rectangle is equal to percent, no percent, sorry, uh, then plus, and in the bracket I will give length multiply width, right? And this is my method which is going to calculate the area of a given rectangle. So here we understood how to create a class. You can see this is my class, and then we understood how to declare variables that are called the data members, and these are known as methods, right? Now we are going to create a object. To create an object, let me write the main method. So I will write here class, and you can see the name of the class, especially of the main, should be the name of this file. So file name, you can see the program file name is class demo.java. So name should be this one, right? Then we have to write here public static main. So I will write here main. Then you can see this kind of things are happening. Let us see how to create an object. To create the object, we have to, what have to do? To create an object, we have to write the class name, that is a rectangle. I want to create object of my class. So rectangle, and then name of the object. So my name of the object is my obj. You can give any variable, equal new, and then rectangle. This is my, so here we created object. This is called the object. So how to create the object? The class name for which you want to create an object, then the object name, that is a variable, then the new keyword, and then the name of the class, and opening and closing parenthesis. So that is called creating the object. So let me write here creating an object. You can create a multiple object, not necessary you can create only a single object. Now we are going to understand how to access the method. If you want to access the method, then we have to use the object dot method name. So my object dot the method. So my method name is first set attribute, and here I want to pass a three parameter. The first is length, so let me pass length, and the second is width, so let me pass the width, and the third is height. So these I have this is called the accessing the method. So how to access the method? Object dot method name, and if your method is taking some parameter, then pass the parameter. Now the another method I want to call, that method you can see is area. So, and this method doesn't take any values inside that, or we can say any parameter. So that's why I'm not providing anything. So now everything is okay. So let me run and let me check it what is happening. So here we understood creating a class, then defining methods, then creating object and calling the methods. I hope it is very clear. So if I run this, then let's see what is happening. Yeah, very good. So you can see it's going to print area of a rectangle is 200, right? So here we understood the four concepts: creating class, defining methods, creating object, calling methods. As I told that you can create multiple methods, or you can create multiple objects. So let me show you. I want to create one more object, or you can call a same function many times. If you want another, so let me create here. I want to create here a rectangle, and here I want to give my, let me give here rect. That is my method name, object name. New is rectangle, and then my method, my object has been created. Now I am going to call one more time my this method set attribute, and I'm passing the value here 15, then I will pass here 17, and then I will pass here height 10, right? And I want to call another method, that is my area. So let me write here area, and you can see. Now let me run it. You will be see the two answers coming, because I am going to create two methods and two objects, and I'm going to call both the methods using these two objects. So I hope you got how to access the methods using the object. Let us understand constructor. So constructor is a special type of method. So I will write here constructor is a special type of method, right? So this is the first point about constructor. So let me write some points about the constructor. So yeah, this is my first point about constructor. Constructor is a special type of method. Why this is a special? Let me show you. It doesn't take any return type. It doesn't take any return type. Means we can't give any return type like int, float, double, void, right? So that's why I've written here, it doesn't take any return type. Third is that the name of constructor will be the name of class. Means whatever the name you have been given constructor is the same as the name of class. That's why I've written the name of constructor will be the name of class. And the fourth point is constructor is called automatically when an object is created, right? So these are the 4 points I have written about constructor. So you can understand constructor is a special type of method. Why? Because it doesn't take any return type. Even you can't give a void also. It takes only the name of constructor, doesn't take any return type, even you can't give the void. Third point, the name of the constructor will be the name of class. Means whatever the name will be given as a constructor is the same as the name of class. And the fourth, the constructor is called automatically when an object is created. So there is no need to call especially or separately. Let us understand through the practical example. So I'm going to create a class a square, right? And then I will declare one variable number. Now I will create one constructor that is a square. You can see a square, and here my constructor is not going to take any parameters. And as I told that the name of constructor is the same as the name of the class. The name of the class is square, and you can see the name of constructor is square. So nothing is changed. The same name is given for both class name and constructor name. Let me write something over here, sys.out, and let me write here I am constructor. I am constructor. So as I told that constructor is called automatically when the object is created. Means there is no need to call especially or separately. Whenever we create an object, then you will be see this is going to be called. So let me print this. So print this, we have to create our main class. So I will write here main class. You can see my main class is constructor demo, and here I want to write main first. Let me write here main, yeah, because without main we can't run our the any program. So I have written main, then let me create an object, the object of a square, and then sq is the name of object, new square, and let me check it is going to be called or not. You can see here I have just created the object sq, and as I told that whenever the object is created, the constructor is going to be called. So let's check it is going to be called or not. So I'm going to run it and then going to check it. You can see very good. So going to be called automatically. I'm not going to call over there. You can see this constructor is not going to be called, especially whenever the object is created, this constructor is going to be called. Let me give another example of that. I'm going to create one more constructor over there, and this time this constructor is going to take some parameter, that is x, and it's going to be print over there system, and I want to print here number is equal to, I want to print number. Before that, let me initialize that. So I will write here number is equal to x, right? Now what will happen if I run this program? Then which constructor will be called, because I have given the two constructor. So you can see here I am not going to pass any parameter. So what will happen? The constructor which is going to be matched will be called. So you can see this constructor is going to be matched because this constructor is not going to take any parameter. Let me run. You can see. But what will happen if I pass some parameter? It is going to take one parameter. I'm going to pass here 10. So what will happen? Instead of this first constructor, the second constructor will be called because this constructor is not going to be matched. You can see here I'm going to pass one parameter, but in the first constructor the parameter is not accepted. So what will happen? In this case, the second constructor will be called because second constructor is going to take one parameter. Let me show you what is happening over here. You can see very good. It's going to print number 10. Now let me give one more constructor over there, and let me see what is happening over there. Square, and here I'm going to give here let me give here one method, that is I want to perform a square. So I will write here simply a square of a number, or simply write, let me write here void and a square, and here I want to perform the system.out and then a square of that given number. So number is number 1 multiply number, and let me show what is happening there. So if I run this, so what will happen? You can see it is going to be called the second constructor, not first, because it is going to be passed over here one value. I want to call my method sq.square. You can see this method, and if I call, you can see it's going to be printed the square of a given number. Let me differentiate over here. Both are different. you can see the name of this method is a square, but the ace is a small, and it is going to take a return type nothing. It's not going to return, but it's going to take the void. So this is the not a constructor, this is a method, right? So let me put here capital S and let me check it what is happening here. You can see the error is coming. Why? Because constructor is not called through the object, and constructor doesn't take any return type, right? So that's why we need to give some special, or we can say different, right? Let me write here message square sq square of. I want to print that given number, so I will write here message of, then a number. I will write here number, then plus, then I will write here is, and then this one plus. Let me run and let me check it. Now it is better. So here we understood constructor. So let me revise that. What is constructor? You can see the constructor is a special type of method. It doesn't take any return type. Even you can't give a void. The name of constructor will be the name of class. The constructor is called automatically when an object is created, and you can see when the constructor is not going to take any parameter, that is called the default constructor, right? It is called automatically, right? So I hope you got a constructor method. Let us understand function overloading. Function overloading means what? If a class having same name, or we can say if a class has a multiple method with the same name but different in parameters, then that is called method overloading. So let us understand practically. So I have a class over here, class, and I'm going to write here print, and then I will declare here a method that is print, and you can see this is a static type of method, and this method is not going to take any parameters. And you can see there is a difference between this print and the method print, because the p is capital in the class, and here in the method the all are small. So let me print something over here. Print int I is equal to 1, I less or equal, let me put 10, I plus plus, and I want to print here this as let me print here that is I want to print a star, and I want to remove this. Okay, so now you can see I have a declared class print, then I have a defined one method of a static type print, okay, and then I have taken the for int I is equal to 1, I less or equal 10, and I plus plus. This is my method. So let me okay, now let me create my main class. So I will write here class, and my name of the main class is polydemo Jordan. So I will write here polydemo, then main, yes. See, I want to call my print method, and this is a static type of the method. To call the static type of method doesn't require to create an object. So how to call this? We have to write the class name. The class name is print, so I will write here print, and then dot and the method name print. And you can see this method is not going to take a parameter. If I run, you can see this star is going to print up to 10 times, right? Let me create one more method, that is uh, same method print, but this time this method will take one parameter as character, right? And let me print this for int I is equal to 1, then I less or equal 10, I plus plus. And here I want to print this ch, right? Means this ch will be passed through this print, right? So you can see here I have a defined two method, the print and the second print. But what are the differences between both? The first method is not going to take any parameter, but the second method is going to take a parameter as a character. Now if I run, so the first method will call, not the second method, because the first method is not taking any parameter, but second method is taking a parameter. So let me call the second method, and here I am going to pass one parameter. So let me pass the parameter here. So I want to pass here dollar, okay, and let me run it and let me check it what is happening over here. If I run, then you can see what is happening. You can see the error is coming. Why this error is coming? What is the reason behind that? Let me see that. Yes. So you can see here I have not given the return type here void, right? Now there is no error. You can see the dollar is going to be printed 10 times, right? Let me remove this ln so that it can print a single line, right? Okay. So you can see both the functions are with the same name but having the different parameters. Let me define one more method here. Static static, then void, and then print. Here I am going to pass the two parameter. How many times I want to execute this loop, that is will be in the end, and what you want to print as a character. For int I is equal to 1, I less or equal that n I plus plus, and let me print here. And here I want to print that ch. Now let me call this method print dot print, and you can see it's going to be display. So here I'm going to pass three parameters. The one I want to pass over here, the how many times I want 15 times, in comma, and what I want to print over here, let me give here this let me put here this has, right? And let me call, let me run this. You can see the error is coming. Why this error is coming? What is the problem? So semicolon is missing, I think. You can see what is happening over here. Okay, let us see. Yeah, the 4 is here that should be r. Okay, now it's okay. Now let me run and let me check it. You can see that. Okay, this is the printed by the first method, this is printed by the second method, this is printed by the third method. So what is happening over there, friends? There are three methods with the same name, but in the first method the parameter is not given. In the second method one parameter is given. In the third method we are giving the two parameters. So that is the function overloading, that tells to define more than one function with same name with different signature. That is called the method overloading. So I hope you got it clearly. Inheritance. Inheritance is a great features, or we can say this is the process where one class acquires the properties, which means methods and fields of another class. So that is called inheritance. This concept which we have already seen in the previous lessons, so I hope you know the meaning of inheritance. But one more time I want to just explain that inheritance is the process where one class acquires the properties of another class. The properties means methods and fields, means one class is going to use the methods and fields of another class. And the class which inherits the properties of another class is known as subclass or derived class or child class. I means suppose a suppose you are going to use a properties of your the parents, so you are known as child class or derived class, right? And the class whose properties are inherited is known as superclass or base class or parents class. So this is the a small description about inheritance. Now let us see practically how this is going to be achieved. One more point I want to write about, that is more important. To inherit one class to the another class, we use extends keyword. Extends keyword. So we use these keywords to inherit one class to another class. We use extends keywords. Let us see practical over there. I'm going to take a class length, and this class has one variable only, length, and one method void get length. So this class will only get length. So let me write here length is equal to L. Now I'm going to create one more class here, class let me write here a dimension. Okay, so that is better, dimension. Okay, and I want to take here length and width also, and get length I will write here get dimension. Okay, that is better than the previous one, get dimension, and here I want to take width also, width is equal to W. So you can see that I have a class dimension, and this class is going to use two variables, length, or that is called the data members width, and the one method that is get dimension. Now I am going to create one class, that is area. I want to use this length, width, and this method. So what will I do? I will use your extends keyword. Extends, and which class I want to inherit? The dimension. So I will write here dimension. So you can see the class dimension is going to be inherit to the class area. So here the dimension class is known as a parents class, or we can say, here let me show you, we can say a base class, right? But the class area is known as a child class, or that is called the derived class, right? Now I want to access. Okay, so here I want to find area, so I'll write area, and here I want to calculate area. So let me write here system dot out and area of rectangle is equal to, let me show you friend, this length width are not a member of this area class, but I am going to access that due to this inheritance feature. So I will write here length, you can see length multiply width, right? Now let me write here main class, and here I will give here main, and then I want to create an object of which class? So area class. Why area? Because inside the area the class dimension is going to be inherited. So I will create area AR is equal to new area, right? Now I want to call my method get dimension. So I will write here AR dot get dimension, you can see, and pass the dimension over there 4, then I want to pass here 5, and then I want to call this area. Okay, let me run it. You can see friend here the area of rectangle is going to be printed 20. Actually this data members are not a members of the class area, but due to the inheritance we are able to access that, right? So that is called the inheritance concept, and this you can see the one class is going to be inherited to the another class, that is called the single inheritance. So I hope it is very clear. If you want to access method also, means I want to access the data, so that is also possible. Let me show you how it is going to be accessed. I want to print here this length also, so let me write you length is equal to then plus, and here air dot length, you can see, and similarly I want to print width. So I will write here width and let me run it. You can see it's going to print 0 0. Why it is going to print 0 0? Because these are going to be printed before this calling this method. If I print this after calling this method, then there will be no 0 0. Now you can see the answers are going to be changed. So I hope you got meaning of inheritance. Thank you.